I had the kind of beginnings of the song, and I remember finishing it off on a beach in Brittany, and we were all staying in a youth hostel, and I came back to the rest of the guys with it. We were all getting a bit homesick by that time, you know, and I remember playing it to the guys in the youth hostel about 2 o'clock in the morning or something, and that was the final straw. We all got the train home the next day, you know, and they went back to Ireland and I went back to Scotland. So yeah, it was a genuine homesick song, and I never thought anything more of it after writing it. Just it was one of the songs that I write, you know. I write lots of songs, and but it's been fascinating to watch it over the years, you know, become something more than just the wee song that it was when I wrote it. The first time I performed it was really interesting. Was in West Berlin. I was living in Germany, and that was when the wall was still up. And I remember my late dear friend Alan Roberts, who it was the duo I was working with. We did a lot of traditional stuff, but I was sneaking a few of my own songs into the set, and I remember we decided to sing Caledonia, and because there's a German audience, and it went down really, really well, you know, and I was going, well, we'll keep that one in the set, you know. But this was for an audience, so even then it must have had something inside it, you know, about sense of belonging that even the German audience had related to, you know. They couldn't have been relating to it as being Scottish, but and I think that's it's a huge song in Ireland and people all over Europe and even in America. So it's more to do with that sense of belonging, you know, than particularly Scottish, you know, which I think has made it become popular. It's fascinating for me to see one of the songs that I wrote become part of common culture like that, you know, and a great thrill to be asked to sing it, you know, at Hogmanay, that sort of important time of the year, and it's nice to sing it alongside, you know, Auld Lang Syne, and it's always been fascinating for me to watch the life of that little song, you know, and how it's used at weddings and funerals and things like that, and it's quite mysterious how people will take a song like that, you know, to themselves and use it in their everyday lives like they do. So I was over in Dublin one time with the kids when they were young, and we went out on the town, and we were in Temple Bar, I think it was, and there was a rock band playing it, and then we went back to the hotel where we were staying, and we were having a nightcap, and there was about 30 bank clerks having their annual Christmas night out, and they were all singing Irish songs and a few refreshments, and my daughter, who was 16 at the time, she turned to me and said, "Wouldn't it be funny, Dad, if they sang Caledonia," you know? And about 10 minutes later, this lady jumps up on the table and gives, you know, at the top of her voice, sang Caledonia, and she didn't know I was sitting in the corner. I never said to her, you know, but it was lovely, you know, and I was going, isn't that fantastic, you know, that something that I made when in my 20s would be being sung at this party. And I think what happens when you're young, I mean, the words are very simple, and I think when you're very young, you sometimes can capture some kind of real honesty in your writing that you lose when you get a bit older. You know, you've got all the baggage of life, and you start to get your lyrics start to become a bit more complicated and a bit more kind of cerebral. But I think there's something about the songs that you write when you're in your kind of your early 20s. You know, you might just touch something that's special, and you don't know what it is. But I think Caledonia did that.